Thank you very much for that tumultuous ovation. And I know that you're out there cyber applauding in Cyberland. We're all in Cyberland. And welcome to episode, show number 9 of the Thursday Night Happening, coming to you from Levy Land Studios here in the Chicago area in a mysterious, undisclosed location. So we thank you very much for tuning in. And this show is dedicated to the music of one of the most influential musicians in the history of music, Johann Sebastian Bach. He's somebody who seemed to be just constantly inspired. And he was a very, very religious man as well. And it just seemed like the religion and the music and his creative genius all flowed together to create this amazing stream of music that continues to be incredibly popular till this very day and probably till the end of recorded time. And that first piece was the Bourée, done a little bit differently from a lute suite that he wrote in E minor. Very famous piece of music that a lot of classical guitarists play, and of course Ian Anderson played it on the flute with Jethro Tull. It was the first pop treatment of that way back in the 60s. And I'd like to also welcome back all of the people who donated last week, because one of the main reasons why we do this is to raise money for the Greater Chicago Food Depository, which is an incredibly great organization. And right now the cause is even more urgent since our economy has just slowed to a standstill because of the pandemic, which is still causing many, many illnesses and taking a lot of lives in the state of Illinois and elsewhere across the nation and the world. So people need food more than ever. So your generous contributions are really appreciated. All the money that we take in, we give directly to them. And there are instructions on the screen of how to donate. We decided to try to be a little more interactive here. We're not exactly inviting people to sit in, but we do have a challenge. the Looking Inward Challenge, which you might be seeing around my head right now. Looking Inward is the name of my latest CD, which is solo piano improvisations that are very compositional in nature, and there's 18 of them on the record, on the album, and they have a certain kind of mood, and so we would just like to pose a little challenge to you, that any of you who come up with a video or a photograph on the theme of looking inward, and you can use my music in the background of the video if you would like, the title track, and whoever has the most imaginative and interesting one is going to win a whole bunch of stuff that you can see scattered around my head here, thanks to the magic of the digital age. And it's a lot of stuff, and I look forward to seeing some of what you guys are going to send in. And all the details are at the website, levyland.com. So, for my next piece, I'd like to do a pair of melodies and with accompaniments from two of Bach's cantatas. He wrote many, I don't even know how many, for these church services. He just cranked them out, and they expected him to. And a lot of the cantatas were based on these Lutheran hymns, chorales, that were pre-existent. And he took these melodies and created these amazing works of art around them. Some of the people at the time thought it was too operatic. Some people actually objected to it. Can you even imagine? So, I mean, the people of Leipzig especially were treated to Bach's genius at the Thomaskirche for many years. And he just did so much for that entire city as his role in his role as the cantor. That's what they called them, the choir director, composer. He taught the kids all these different instruments. And this hymn in particular, I don't know who wrote it, but it's not a hymn, it's a chorale. I think Martin Luther might have written that one, I'm not sure. And so he used that as the central theme for his beautiful cantata, Wachet auf, which means wake up. And this particular part of it is the most famous movement of it. People call it Sleepers Awake in English. And I'm going to try to play it for you. And after that will be the even more famous Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring, or Jesu, Meine Freude, My Joy in German. So I hope you enjoy these on the mighty mouth organ, which Bach never wrote for because it didn't exist when he was alive. Thanks. Ah, all right. The harmonica has spoken. Now it's time for the piano, which only started to exist late in Bach's life because it was invented, the first one in 1720, and they had all sorts of problems with them, with the action and trying to figure out how to, how to make it really work so you could repeat notes and stuff like that. And when Bach was writing most of his music, the harpsichord was the most popular keyboard instrument for performance, as well as the pipe organ, which he was the master of, both of those instruments. But neither of them really had dynamics, because you play a harpsichord, it plucks, and it never plucks any louder or softer. You have to add and subtract stops like on an organ. And the organ, the same thing, but you can't get dynamics on an organ unless you add and subtract rows of pipes. So the piano was the first keyboard instrument that could play louder or softer, and its full name is the pianoforte, soft loud, the soft loud. And so I'm going to attempt to do sort of a mashup of some Bach inventions. This is crazy because every time I sit down and screw around with this stuff, it comes out totally different. And sometimes it's really great, and sometimes it's not. So I'm hoping that it's somewhere at least toward the positive side of the spectrum. I don't know how I'm going to start. Well, that was one of them. I hope you enjoyed it. And now I'd like to check out to see who's listening and who's watching. And Mad Cat, Peter Mad Cat Ruth, one of America's and the world's great harmonica players, and Reimagined indeed. Yes, indeed. And Dan Cook and Sonia. Oh, thank you, Sonia. Sonia Walker. I'm glad that you're here again. And Marlene, not like any Bach my piano teacher made me play. Yeah, or mine. But I have fun transposing these pieces, and you see the way that they all kind of weave together, and some of them are kind of relative major and minor versions of each other, all sorts of stuff. Hello, Megumi, you're a very loyal listener. Hey, Dwight. Bach reborn as the son of a Jewish Mississippi sharecropper. That's pretty good. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Rich Mazel. Yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in. And Larry Hines. Oh, from wonderful recording engineer that I used to do a lot of recording sessions with in Chicago. And thank you, Tyler. And Judith. Okay. And Lewis Hunt once more. Yeah. Hey, Wally Rozak, and thanks for tuning in. Wally is one of the musical forces in Chicago. He promotes a lot of good music. Geraldo, my buddy, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah. Who else is here? Sonia, you just got your copy of Looking Inward. Oh, I hope you enjoy the music. Thank you. Justin, thank you very much. I'm glad you're enjoying my playing. And Walter, inspiration to humanity. My goodness, I don't know about that. I'm a perspiration to myself. So, but thank you very much. Aaron Soberanes, I'm glad you enjoyed the tongue blocking techniques on harmonica, where I play the melody and accompaniment at the same time. Yes, and now people are saying hi to each other because a lot of these people do know each other. Rich Mazel and Geraldo, Seth, yes, from Northern Vermont. Thank you for tuning in. And, Janet, thank you for watching on behalf of Bob Gustafson, wonderful pianist who passed away last year. He is on the Harmonica Jazz CD, just a brilliant musician and a wonderful guy, just big heart, Ariella, fantastic singer, Ariella McManus. Oh, beautiful. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Oh, hi, Sandy. These comments are making me feel better because I finished playing and there's dead silence in the room, So I don't know if it's any good or not. I can't tell. Transitions? What transitions? That's good. T.S. Henry Webb, one of the bright lights of Chicago music. Thank you. Thanks, Buzz. Thanks for tuning in, man. Buzz Krantz, one of the Chicago's, I don't know what to call him, sort of a leader of the harmonica community. And Vittorio Montes from Mexico. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying my Bach variations. And Winslow Yerxa, one of the most important people in the harmonica world in America. He is just like a great educator, and he used to have a wonderful magazine called Harmonica Information Press, where he interviewed me. If you can find the back issues, it's great, a great magazine. Oh, so many people. I'm so happy to see all these names. Maybe that's enough. Ann Feldman. Oh, thank you. And Mark Schlossberg. Oh, God, there's a lot of comments. That makes me feel really good. All right. Well, I think it might be time. Hey, Norman Sabat. Oh, is my good buddy from New York. Might be time to get back to the music. And I got the idea for reading these things from playing on Prairie Home Companion, where Garrison Keillor would read comments from the audience on the break between the first and second hour of the show. And it was always a real nice way to involve people who were in the audience. And here you guys are in the audience, and so I'm reading your comments and trying to make us feel connected. Well, one of, as I said before, one of the main instruments that Bach played was the pipe organ, which was really loud instrument, especially if you think about those times the 17th century, there were no machines yet. Trains, nothing. You go into a church and you hear a pipe organ. That's louder than an orchestra. And I found out that they actually used to get prisoners. The air that had to go through the pipes, it was to pump all the air through those thousands and thousands of pipes. And this piece, I played it when I was 14 or 15 years old. I went to a high school that had a pipe organ, and I heard it, and I just went, I want to learn how to play that. And of course, being a Jewish kid, I had never heard a pipe organ in person. They didn't have those in Jewish temples, Those were strictly in churches, and only some churches. And so this piece is called the Passacaglia in C minor. I'm not going to play the fugue, just the Passacaglia. And it's a repeated melody. It's an Italian word. And it just goes like this. Bach spins these amazing variations on it. And I'm not sure if we did this yet or not, but there's the actual score. There's an old manuscript that I found online, and you could see how Bach's hand really looked, and the way they wrote music back then was kind of different. And the way they wrote it, these composers just could write like crazy. They'd used India ink, and a lot of them just knew exactly what they were hearing and just wrote. And I visited Leipzig, where Bach lived the last 20 years of his life, I guess. And he used to go across the street from the church to a coffee house and drink a lot of coffee and write those manuscripts, by candlelight. And he hung out there. He and his friends used to put on concerts at the cafe, and it was wonderful to visit the city where he composed so many of these great works. So, the Passacaglia in C minor done slightly differently by me. Well, that was something. Not exactly sure what. I hope you enjoyed some or all of that. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks very much. And I'd like to thank you for your generous donations and for sticking with me through thick and thin here. We're going to keep this show going as long as we possibly can. And, I have recorded some Bach pieces on the Art Plus Adrenaline. I can't speak anymore. The Art Plus Adrenaline. I can't say it. This right foot clave and the harmonica has messed up my brain. Art Plus Adrenaline album with Chris Siebold. The last track is a slow movement of a Bach flute sonata, which is really a lot of fun to play with Chris. It's a lot more fun playing with my fellow musicians than to try to do everything myself here. And it's a beautiful album. And the other one is the Largo e Dolce, which is another slow flute sonata movement. It's actually from the Flute Sonata number 1. And I reimagined it as a bluesy gospel-y piece. And on my website, levyland.com, you can find a recording of it as well as the score, which includes my improvised harmonica part and my piano part that I made up. So it's pretty cool for anybody who wants to try to play it, not just harmonica players. So once again, please, if you can find the generosity in your hearts to make a donation, in spite of my dropping the clave in the last piece, check out all the information on the website, and it'll tell you where to donate to, or to send a check, credit card, check, whatever, not credit card, any one of a number of different ways to do it. And the next week, the show is going to be based on my great love for folk music. I started getting interested in folk music when I was a teenager in New York, and I had friends who were really into it, and they turned me onto it, and I continued that when I moved to Chicago, playing with Steve Goodman and John Prine and Bonnie Coloc and Tom Paxton and a slew of other people, lots of recordings. So I'm going to pick some of my favorite music from that side of my musical life, and I'm going to call it My Folk Roots, and that's going to be next week's show. So thanks very much for listening, folks, and God bless, and stay safe and stay healthy, everybody, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.